You know, WWE just loves to break the internet. They really do. And I think another one of those break the internet moments happened tonight. Actually, several of them, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Sir on Disney here, we're going to talk about the just completed Battleground pay-per-view that was held at Scott Trade Center in St. Louis, Missouri. And of course, I'm not alone. Oh no, joining me as always is my partner in crime from across the pond, Ashley. You'll voice your displeasure soon, no worries.
No, no, the displeasure is... Oh, hang on. Damn it. Hang on, the displeasure is...
Yes! It is back!
Prop malfunction! Damn it!
Oh, that's great. And also joining me, I can't really call him new to pop anymore because he's a regular now. Welcome, Mr. Entertainment, Aaron.
Hold the prop.
Yes, my status changed.
Your status has been updated. Do you want to poke it?
You shall not get that from anything on this podcast. Yeah, we're going to talk about the just completed pay-per-view real quick. I welcome everyone to another WWE Popcast. This is our pay-per-view edition, and we bring you pay-per-view and Raw, and we also do.
Sorry if you actually paid pay-per-view prices for this one.
It was a really great show, but there was a lot of things that left me kind of scratching my head a little bit.
There was a lot of things that were just.
Oh God, here we go again. Oh man. So yeah, that's what we've got for this, and basically we're going to talk about Battleground. The show obviously had one major flaw right off the top. I know this isn't a major deal, but I mean, I guess you could say it was a flaw nonetheless, that they had to scrap a match at the 11th hour because apparently Ryback got a staph infection. So, irony?
Yeah, did he talk to CM Punk recently, and he got a staph infection over the phone, over a text? I mean, this is I call BS on this one.
Okay.
I really
speak your piece, Aaron. Go ahead.
Well, the reason why I call BS is because not only is it an irony, it's just, that's what it is basically. It's very ironic, and it just seems like it's not legit. It's part of the storyline, because we'll get into it later what the match wasn't and ended up being, but I just I don't really, I'm not buying it.
Okay. We'll get to voice our opinions later on because I know what I think I have an idea what you're talking about. Yeah. We'll get to that later. So the show basically had Ryback was supposed to defend the Intercontinental Championship against The Miz and The Big Show. Unfortunately, there was a segment later on in the show, but we shall talk about that when we get to it. And that left us without a match. A lot of rumors, a lot of speculation on what was supposed to take over that spot. And it ended up being a three-way women's matchup. All three teams represented, the Bellas and Beautiful and Dangerous. I don't like that. And, of course, the Powerpuff Girls. So
I would have. I wonder if the Ryback match still had happened, would there be a Divas match still? I mean, WWE would be stupid after that segment on Raw not to have Divas match at Battleground.
Yeah, it wouldn't be stupid. It would be stupid.
Exactly.
I said it so you didn't have to, sir. I just went ahead and took that bullet right for you. Yeah.
0-1, Aaron 0.
We are getting off to a rambunctious start, aren't we? So basically, the kickoff was one match. Basically, a lot of shots of Renee Young, which I'm never going to complain about. Looking gorgeous as always, but I'll tell you what, Renee Young knows her stuff. She really does. She is definitely a focal point of the announce team, and I really think it's a shame that she's not a part of the actual Raw announce team.
Oh, I mean, she That's why she did a good job in commentary in NXT.
Yeah.
And tonight especially, talking about looking gorgeous. Oh my goodness.
But she definitely knows her stuff, so that's a great thing too. To have the looks is one thing, but have the looks and be able to back it up with the knowledge.
Knowledge is power.
That's completely amazing. Yeah. Tell Alex that.
Yeah.
So that's what we've got for that. Obviously, the kickoff was promoted by Mountain Dew Kickstart, which I really enjoy, and they're sipping snacks of it. So check that out on the Sip and Snack playlist here on Pop. So we had one match, and it is the battle for the crown, pretty much. It is the King of Bad News, Wade Barrett, against TL Hopper 2K15, R-Truth. So Truth, I hate the King What's Up name. I don't like this storyline at all. I think this is over, and I'm glad it's finally over. Is everyone in agreement with me?
It's never over.
Yes, it is. It's over.
Yeah, it would be safe to say, well, I don't know if it's safe to say it's over. I kind of have to go with Ashley on this one because, WWE Logic, you don't know what's up their sleeve next, I mean, Barrett versus R-Truth at SummerSlam better not happen.
How? You expected a WWE World Title match. You got an exhibition.
Oh, we're not quite there yet, Ashley.
It's the WWE logic. It's the WWE logic.
So,
if that's the case, this feud is going to go on till WrestleMania 32.
God, I hope not.
Yeah, well.
I hope this is the end of it right here.
Sponsored by Burger King.
So they can actually really use the crowns they're using instead of covering it up with tinfoil?
Sponsored by Sneak King. They'll re-release it. Yeah. Horrible bloody game.
Yeah, this match was... I told Ashley this, and I think this is the best way to put it. This match was a really good SmackDown match.
Yeah.
A match that you would be watching on SmackDown.
Yeah, that's actually a good comparison. It was a good, quick match, actually.
It's a good match for SmackDown. Thank God they showed it for free on YouTube.
Oh, yes.
So Feed, and Google, and Facebook, and YouTube.
I did like the finish here. I liked the way it was set up with Truth going for the lie detector, Barrett grabbed the ropes, and he ended up hitting the bull hammer and getting the 3 count. So he has the crown, and now he can be the King of Bad News, because apparently there's a big rumor going around right now that Bad News Barrett gimmick is returning. So I just call him the King of Bad News. I think that works. It's on his T-shirt. I know. I just got it. So, I mean...
Bad news. The King gimmick is being dropped. The Bad News Bears gimmick is coming back.
Oh, God. Swing for the fences, Wade. Swing for the fences. So, you gotta love SAP here. I love the closed captioning on the WWE Network.
By the way, is this in Spanish on Twitter?
God, probably. It usually is. I still don't know why, but for some reason, whenever Google Hangouts sets out a live stream, it basically doesn't.
Acer, get on it. I know you're watching.
Acer, that's right. I know exactly. No, it is not in Spanish. Ashley, it says I started a live stream on at YouTube. So yeah, there is no Spanish here. So yes, the Spanish Inquisition is over.
Boo! I blame Donald Trump and El Chapo's feud. Boo!
Well, as everyone knows, nobody stops the Spanish Inquisition. So
no, nobody expects it.
Nobody stops it either.
I don't know. Aldo Montoya. Oh no, he's Portuguese. Who was supposed to be Spanish in WWE? I'm trying to remember. Mantar. The mighty Mantar.
Mantar doing the Finn Balor entrance on Botchamania this week is priceless. So, yeah, real quick, like I said, I'm going to bring this up a couple of times on the show. The way that the captioning comes off is glorious because it calls the pay-per-view Out of Ground. Not Battleground, Out of Ground.
I thought it was Battlefield, what Daniel Bryan said on Tough
Talk. Very harsh people would say that's where it belonged.
Oh, God. I do think it's interesting that the opening package focused heavily on basically putting over Roman Reigns, John Cena, and Seth Rollins.
No, it basically no. If you look at the actual stuff, what it really put over was Roman Reigns and the primetime players.
I saw John Cena and Seth
Because
Rollins.
all I saw were Roman soldiers and Spartans. So, tag belts and Mr. Reigns.
That's an interesting way to put it. And apparently a backbreaker is called a back record. Okay.
Well, if you take out the B, yeah. Backburger.
Oh, God.
Backburger.
Here we go again.
Just like the curb stomp was taken away because they didn't want kids duplicating and using the move, and it injured no one. Yet the Muscle Buster is not banned after it almost killed Tyson Kidd.
Just like Aaron got taken away from JBL's unblocked list.
Thank you.
Aaron got blocked by JBL.
And I wanted to get blocked. He just can't take criticism well, just like Ryback. So I'm blocked from Ryback and JBL, and I'm happy about it.
So, speaking of things that just don't need to happen anymore, Sheamus and Randy Orton opened up the show.
We might as well get that match out of the way, though, real early.
Honestly, it was a good pop for the hometown boy. It was nice to see Randy Orton as a full-fledged babyface, I think, in his hometown especially. And this match actually wasn't bad. It was a good match, but we've seen it before. We've seen it a billion times. There's almost nothing new you can do out of it.
Yeah, no, we've seen it before, but arguably this was probably like the best match that they could put on. Really, I mean, it wasn't a match that was going to steal the show. It was a great opener. The crowd was solidly behind Randy Orton.
Yeah. So basically, what I have to take from this match is the fact that it ended with Sheamus pretty much on top. He hit the Brogue Kick. He goes for the Texas Cloverleaf. He's got it locked on. He's in the center of the ring. Orton crawls to the bottom rope. And when Sheamus goes to pick him up, literally RKO out of nowhere, and Orton wins clean as a sheet. I mean, obviously, you have to look at two things. The two factors being, number one, Randy Orton's in his hometown. And originally, when you're in your hometown, you usually lose. But, obviously, Ashley mentioned off camera, somebody named Phil from Southside Chicago definitely changed that rule, so that probably should have been voted out. And given the fact that Sheamus has the briefcase right now, they're going to job him out until they decide to either put the title on him or take the briefcase off of him, whichever comes first.
Right.
I mean, the match was okay. It was Sheamus and Randy Orton. I mean, they're not bad matches. They're serviceable matches. They're good, hard-hitting matches.
We've seen them do on television.
I agree. It's better than their TV matches,
it's certainly
for sure.
Worthy of being classified as a pay-per-view match.
I agree with that. I will say right now that, and I have a tally of the actual list of tonight I basically do predictions. We all do predictions, and I have them written down, and I know who won tonight, but I can't tell you until the very end, so we'll get to that. WWE Tag Team Championships on the line. The newly crowned Tag Team Champions, Darren Young and Titus O'Neil, the primetime players, defending against the New Day, this time represented by the team of Kofi Kingston and Big E. And, of course, Xavier Woods being the valet at ringside, and like you said, Ashley, he became comic book guy.
The best valet in a long time.
Legitly.
Valet ever.
The best valet ever. Exactly.
Everything that came out of his mouth was hilarious. Worst leg drop ever. He's doing the tricep meet. Oh, what you gonna do? Are you okay? It was just great. I was laughing my ass off. I couldn't pay attention to the match. I was almost crying in tears.
It was an interesting finish because you set it up with the hot tag to Titus, but they didn't go in that direction. If they would have went in that direction, it would have been a lot better. But they actually went and tagged Darren back in the ring, let him get his shine in, and then Titus got tagged back in for the finish. But still, it wasn't as hot as when Titus got into the ring on the double tag.
I gotta admit, the ending was kind of sudden.
Yeah, it really was, because
Dun dun dun.
the rolling elbow to Biggie and the backdrop to the ring apron on Xavier Woods, and Darren Young came in with a House of Fire. They set him up for the big ending face buster off the top. It gets countered. Biggie ends up charging, gets shoulder first into the ring post, allowing the duck of the Trouble in Paradise. Darren hits the gut check, tags Titus, Clash of the Titus on Biggie, and the New Day lose again, and the Primetime Players retain the tag team championships. So yeah, it was like I said, it was a serviceable tag team match. I don't have any qualms with it, but I would have. I mean, the crowd were really hot for Titus, and they have been continuously since he's returned. So I really think they should have played that up. And I know Titus got the pin, and I know he got the Tiger Bomb in, and everything was great, grand, and wonderful. But if he would have got the pin after a little bit of shine from the hot tag, I think it would have been a lot more effective than basically cooling him down a little bit with Darren Young coming in like a house of fire, because you already had Titus coming in like a house of fire. So you had two hot tags in the match, and sometimes that just works. Most of the times it just does not. So, any thoughts on the tag title match, Aaron?
It was entertaining because of one man, Xavier Woods.
Oh yeah, watching him on Swerved and watching the Up Up Down Down show on YouTube, Xavier Woods has become one of my favorite people on planet Earth right now.
Yeah, and he wasn't even in the match.
He's absolutely hilarious in everything he does.
So I mean, it was I appreciated that match more than I thought I was going to because of him, honestly. And I can't really give feedback on the match except that. But yeah, it was just a sudden finish, and it was somewhat of a predictable rematch, because it would have been not making so much sense if the titles went back on the New Day.
Yeah, it's too soon.
Yeah.
But there's not much of a tag team division right now, so I could say that it's too soon, but then again, maybe it's not. But the only thing missing from Xavier Woods at ringside doing his valet stuff was the good old-fashioned Dave Chappelle, "You done, son?"
Yeah. They did a lot of hand ticks, even in their opening promo, pre-match promo. Biggie looked like he's scared Xavier Woods because they thought he was done preaching. Then he came at them and yelled them again. It was so funny.
Yeah, Xavier Woods definitely, I'm glad he got brought up to the main roster. His personality shines through every single time he's out there, whether he's on a mic or whether he's got a kind of a voice that basically carries. So he has a loud, projected voice. That's what happens when you have a lot of public speaking. And don't forget, the guy's studying to be a doctor. So he definitely knows what he's doing when he's talking.
Yeah, the only superstar with a PhD.
Yeah, he's very eloquent. He knows exactly what to say and how to convey emotion in a match. And he doesn't necessarily have to wrestle in order to be entertaining.
Right. Exactly.
But yeah, Ashley, your thoughts on the tag team title match?
It was serviceable. It was a good tag team match.
It was. It was a solid tag match.
I wouldn't object to it. It's not terrible.
No.
It was nice for what it did. It's card filler. You have to be honest. Most of these matches are basically filling up the card for your main event matches that people have paid their money for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then, of course, other things happen, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we will. And we're going to get to a little bit of that sooner rather than later, because the next match ended up being Bray Wyatt against Roman Reigns.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
For as much heat...
I lost track.
No, it's okay. I got notes right here. We're good. For as much heat as there has been between these two, and how Wyatt made it personal with getting Roman's kid involved and basically making his life miserable, you would think there'd be a lot more heat on this match. It was a hard-hitting fight, but, I mean, Roman shouldn't have came out of the crowd. If anything, he should have jumped him from not from the top of the, like he normally does, his normal entrance. He should have just came out and just started pounding on Bray, and they could have fought in the crowd, and then they could have fought around the ringside area. It did not have the feel of what kind of intensity you would get from if this happened in real life to you?
When the lights came back on, he should have run up behind him like last week, missing his cue.
That was great. I wish I would have caught that. Now it looks like I just didn't catch it. I just didn't, I guess. But kudos to the WWE editing team for when they showed it later on in the night. It looked like he was right behind him the whole time. Yeah, this match was a really good, hard-hitting match. Felt like a match you would see like second hour of Raw, or maybe perhaps a SmackDown main event. I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was. I liked a lot of the counters out of the regular maneuvers. I mean, the Superman punch countered Uranagi for the near fall, and Sister Abigail's countered into a roll-up, and then the Superman punch, and I really liked the way that this match flowed. It actually flowed really well. And they grabbed a bunch of chairs to try to toss a bunch of chairs into the ring, and this allowed for a distraction of somebody that we know very much, and that is Hoodie Man.
Oh no!
I thought of that immediately when I saw that.
So Hoodie Man reveals himself on national pay-per-view, and he basically super kicks a very familiar-looking super kick, and this allows for him to get tossed back into the ring to eat the Sister Abigail. 1, 2, 3. Bray Wyatt gets a very much needed victory. And then Hoodie Man reveals himself, and shock surprise, it's Luke Harper. The Wyatt family have reunited at Battleground.
You know who it should have been, though?
Go ahead.
Vince McMahon. It was me, Austin! It was me all along!
Vince, I'm not Steve Austin. I don't care. It was me, Austin. Yeah, I like this match, actually. I saw a lot from Roman in this match. I really did. I mean, he brought the intensity that he needs to convey in order to sway people like me that are not buying him right now. I think it's a good way to put it. Aaron, thoughts?
It was an okay match. I think they were trying a little too hard to try like steal the show because it's Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt. I would really like it to be a one-time thing. I really would. I don't want to see this rivalry continue. Cause it's only had one match after confrontation after confrontation. Not even face to face, just Titantron in the ring, basically. It didn't deliver as it was. I think I should say it wasn't as effective as it should have been.
It didn't have as much heat on as it should have had. It didn't have enough intensity. It did, but it didn't.
Yeah, but I mean, the only good thing that came out of the match is Bray Wyatt finally won. So.
Yeah, it's about time too.
Yeah. If anybody else cares anymore, I do. But and plus, throwing the chairs in the ring, that spot didn't make sense at all. I'm like, okay, is this Extreme Rules again, or?
It did if they would have set it up, but basically it was just a distraction to set up Hoodie Man.
Yeah.
And of course, now you have set up Bray and Luke Harper against Ambrose and Reigns on Raw. Or maybe,
I missed Dean Ambrose. I missed him.
Yeah, it's weird he wasn't on the show at all. Yeah, either they're going to do the tag match on Raw, or they're going to do the singles match with Harper and Roman on Raw, and then they're going to build the tag match on SmackDown. No one's going to watch it on SmackDown. They'll put it on Raw next week. So that's usually how it works, isn't it? So, Ashley, what do you think of the match?
This was sort of better than I thought it was going to be. I sort of thought it was going to get a lot of hype, but they put on a very good match. I wouldn't say it was like an excellent sort of thing, but I'd have liked to have seen, I guess, because of child restriction laws, they couldn't really do any angle with the kid because then you would be going off the PG track. But
and then the moms against WWE would have been on their tails about it.
the more would be against them. Wow. The more. There you go.
Oh God.
Thank God it isn't the. Thank God it isn't the swift, wrinkled. No. Swift, agile, wrinkled football teams.
Oh man. So then we lead to the segment that was rumored, and we talked about it earlier on, and it's going to be the three-way women's matchup.
Woo!
So all 9 ladies come out, and
Yes.
I don't know about this. I mean, obviously,
What?
I've been out of the game for a while, but what's with the dropped pockets in the shorts? I don't get that.
What Naomi was wearing?
Yeah.
Naomi? I like that. I don't know about you. It didn't really look like PG, but hey.
She's fine, but I mean, I don't like the drop pockets. I think it looks like skeezy. Looks skeezy.
Well, it may just be for Battleground. You know how we have the pay-per-view attire, but she wasn't even in the match. She was just a valet.
That wasn't pay-per-view attire. That was Total Divas attire. Nobody gives a shit about it. Yeah.
Yes, Total Diva, but it's not like we're gonna see it week to week. If we see it week to week, I don't have a problem with it. But Tamina staring down JoJo is really funny because it's like the second time she's done that because she did it on SmackDown.
I thought it was funny that Stephanie looked like she was like 7 feet tall with JoJo when they did the backstage segment.
It was hilarious. JoJo's like, she said sorry for something. I missed that part. I guess she like bumped into Stephanie when Stephanie came in. I don't know.
Did you know JoJo is 2'7"?
Did you know JoJo likes white guys? So I got a chance. Just kidding.
Oh God.
She's great. She's an adorable interviewer.
Okay, JoJo out of nowhere. Oh!
Oh wow.
That's good. That is good.
Shots fired. It's St. Louis, mind you. So basically, all 3 are going to select a representative, and there's going to be a match. Well, first off, the Powerpuff Girls do select Charlotte, which is awesome.
Woo!
And Team BAD, whatever you want to call them this week, Best at Dominating or Beautiful and Dangerous or whatever.
Yeah, like what is that about? I thought it was Best at Dominating. I like that better. What's Beautiful?
Bad at drama.
I mean, like, I don't want to be sexist or anything, but like Beautiful and Dangerous, like Tamina, really?
She's the
and. She's the and.
Oh,
you just called Tamina the ampersand of this group.
Hey, everybody loves an ampersand. It's got a lot of curves.
We'll go back to that wonderful match she had at Beast in the East. So there you go. God.
Hang on. So who's in this match? Come on, let's get on to it.
And the final participant of the match is. Well, actually, before I get to the final participant of the match, so Bad selects the NXT Women's Champion, the Boss Sasha Banks. So we get Sasha and Charlotte.
Like a boss.
And then the third participant looks to be the Butterfly Belt Champion, Nikki Bella.
Wow.
But before the match starts, she slides under the bottom rope, talks to Brie, and gets Brie to take the match. So Brie's officially facing off against Charlotte and Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
Here we go again. Yeah. That and the sounder, it's kind of like...
The thing is, this match epitomizes that.
I know.
Because 80% of it was, let's find some excuse to throw Brie out the ring, so let the 2 NXT divas fight.
And that's exactly what happened. Basically, there was a lot of the signature moves, like Sasha ended up doing the double knees, and she did the stacked double knees to Charlotte on top of Brie. I thought that was awesome. And yeah, like Brie ends up hitting the running knee, and then she hit the running knee, and then she hit the running knee again, and then when she went to hit it on Sasha again, Sasha sidestepped her, and she goes to the floor, and then Sasha and Charlotte again. It's like the Royal Rumble in 1992 when Bobby Heenan says on commentary, "It's back to Bulldog and Flair again."
But you know what? I had no problem with that because I could watch Sasha and Charlotte wrestle all week, all night long.
I'm very excited to be able to talk about that match on NXT tomorrow, so that'll be fun.
And it was just so much fun, and as we get into this match even more, it was so much fun that they came across each other's paths more than once in that match, because that match was choreographed perfectly to let's just really do Sasha and Charlotte for a while and leave Brie out of it. But, Brie will still have a great effect on the match, which she did as we get into it, I think.
She really did, and when Brie goes to the floor, both Nikki and Alicia Fox are left alone with Paige and Becky Lynch, Naomi and Tamina, so Brie gets up on the apron, Sasha drop kicks her off, and they're supposed to catch her, but that almost was a dangerous backdrop driver on Brie right there.
Yep.
That looked bad.
Team bad.
Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. So, basically, after this, Sasha ends up hitting the tope on everyone, and Charlotte, not to be outdone, does a pescado, which Tamina is the only one that catches her. So, at this point, they fight back into the ring, and Charlotte tosses Brie in. They put her on the buckle. Brie gets caught with a forearm. She climbs up, going for the superplex. Sasha ends up hitting the bank statement on Charlotte. Brie tosses Sasha shoulder first into the ring post. And then Brie sets up for the Bella Factor, and it gets countered into the figure eight, and Brie taps out immediately, and Charlotte wins clean.
I think I need to make a withdrawal from Sasha Banks.
Hang on. So the result of that triple threat.
Yeah.
Indeed. So, going back to Kai-Tai, indeed.
Television made for children from 1970 made so much sense.
No lie. Yeah, this match was good, really good. Probably one of the best three-way women's matches we've ever seen in WWE overall. But the problem is, I don't want to bag on Brie here because she did what she was supposed to do in the match, and the storyline of the match was to keep her out of the ring.
The really confusing thing is, partway through this match, the crowd were cheering for all three.
Yeah, exactly.
The crowd were cheering for the heels. It's happening again. Nobody knows who the fuck is on whose side. You dumb shit.
Because the funny thing about that is Brie is the one of, I mean, if you watch Total Divas at all, Brie is the one that comes off, like, likable. And some of the crowd are still seeing that, and they're still going to cheer for Brie.
Alicia Fox comes off like a cokehead.
She's just happy all the time.
Yeah, cokehead.
I didn't say it, you did.
I'm not talking about the drugs. I'm talking she's drinking too much Coca-Cola. Too much sugar in her system.
There's no way, there's no Coke on the earth that would give her that kind of sugar high, sir. She's drinking Surge.
You know what? She's drinking Coke with added Mentos. That's what she's doing.
She's hoarding Surge. That's what she's doing.
Sprunk. We get some Sprunk in from the GGA universe.
Oh, God. So, yeah, Ashley, what do you think of the match?
Good triple threat.
Yeah.
My only problem is fucking advertise it.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
if you said on the internet like Friday, oh well, just added triple threat divas match, people would actually go, wait, I actually want to watch this now live.
Well, actually, what they could have done is that, after that historic game-changing moment on Raw, later in the night, they could have taken 30 seconds to a minute and say, just signed for Battleground by Stephanie McMahon, the triple threat match then.
Or even on Smack, do it on, you do it on, you announced on social media that Ryback was injured.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why don't you announce on social media, Divas match? Don't even say what it is. Just say there will be a Divas match featuring the newly brought up NXT Divas.
Yeah.
And that enough would make people want to watch. Rather than
they could
Limbo!
They actually, Ashley's right. They missed their opportunity there because with so many social media followers, they got millions and millions of followers on social media. The word would have spreaded real quick. I mean, that's what TNA and well, I guess that's the only comeback I can think of. That's what TNA and NXT do. They announce stuff on social media.
Because they realise all the women just want to see Colin Farrell in True Detective, and they realise, fuck it.
So, that's what we had on that. And it seems like it was a good match, really enjoyable match. Definitely going to be better than most stuff you would ever see on Raw.
I would say the best Divas match of the year on pay-per-view.
Really? Well, if you say on the network, then we have a different question on our hands.
Well, I mean, the pay-per-view, this event was on pay-per-view too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a pay-per-view.
Yeah. So,
shit. You spent $60 on this? Bye.
Oh. No, because Elimination Chamber was a WWE Network exclusive, so I thought from that point forward they were going to have all pay-per-views.
Over here, people could have bought it for £15. They didn't want to sign up to the network.
Oh my god.
It's just.
And again, we got the TNA paper. Oh wait.
Yeah. But
not a fair comparison.
All right. So you want to get into it now? Let's talk about the semi-main event.
Oh yeah, the promo.
No, the actual.
That was your semi-main event. Be honest.
I'm talking about wrestling main event. I'm not talking about the Miz calling the Big Show out using things that everybody has said online.
Yeah. I've only just realised something.
I'm getting punched for it.
We had 6 matches on this show tonight, didn't we?
Yeah.
We had more matches on Raw, which was full of promos. Last week. We had more matches on Raw of no significance than a pay-per-view of some significance. What?
There are NXT weeks that have more matches in just an hour.
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, you had the Baron Corbin squash, you have the Bull Dempsey squash, you have the Tyler Breeze squash.
You could have reignited the feud and reignited the bloody character, which they were completely ditching by having, bloody Stardust taking on Iron Mandow.
Yeah, it's interesting, the placement on the show tonight. I'm going to guess that a lot of the people you didn't see tonight are probably going to be on Raw or SmackDown this week.
Well, Spider-Mandow.
Arachnamandow?
No, because, how? If you can get away with Hulk Hogan, then you could probably get away with Spider-Mandow.
Oh, God. Like I said, Arachnamandow.
Yeah, TNA's getting away with the Hulk Hogan DVD.
No, because then that'd mean everybody would look for Arachnophobia on Netflix. And you don't want people to look for that film.
Let's talk about the match, shall we? United States title on the line. John Cena defending against Kevin Owens.
Your main event. Technically your main event, because remember...
your real main event, exactly.
Yeah. Your last match was an exhibition. We'll get to it. This is your main event.
For the third pay-per-view in a row, this match is your literal main event. Not the actual main event, but the main event that everyone is going to be talking about.
Technically, this time it was literally the main event, but whatever.
Yeah. Main event wrestling match, okay. So, one thing I'll take from this immediately...
They only had 5 matches if you take that into account. Dear God.
Cena... So basically, Owens gets a huge reaction from the crowd, so much to the point that they were actually cheering for him pretty much the whole time. And he comes out, and he's ready for Cena to get in the ring. He yells at him, "We know the act. We've seen it for 10 years. Get out here."
Oh, that's great.
I thought that was glorious.
And, of course, Cena does the act, because he's heel.
Yeah. Go watch Trainwreck. John Cena's hilarious.
That's something nobody should ever be ever known to hear.
Remember, he looks like Mark Wahlberg ate Mark Wahlberg.
No.
Just because I don't watch it, because it's, like a cheap version of Jackass. Has Cena been on Swerved yet?
No.
Oh, I wonder why.
He will. No worries.
No, he won't. He will never be on Swerved. Him and Johnny Knoxville pissed each other off at some bar in Palookaville. I don't know.
Well, if you go by Kevin Bacon connection, obviously with Walking Tall having the Rock in it with Johnny Knoxville, you have a quicker Kevin Bacon connection for John Cena that way. So, let's talk about the match, shall we? And you know how we do when it comes to John Cena and Seth Rollins matches, and Kevin Owens matches, and Brock Lesnar matches. No. All four is usually something that gives me grounds to actually pay attention and to really get into it. So let's do that, shall we? So Owens goes for the burning hammer into the neck breaker, which a good friend of mine who no longer wrestles used to use as a finisher. He called it the F it. So shout out to Chris Kahn out there in television land. So Cena hits the shoulder tackle, and the second one is caught, front slam, leaping back senton for a near fall. Cena gets up, hits the drop kick, ducks the right hand, and the swinging slam into a sit-out facebuster. Just awkward. Just an awkward-looking move for a near fall. Cena heads up top, leg drop to the back of the neck, and he gets the near fall off of that. AA countered spike DDT, and I love the way that Cena spikes on this because he Rob Van Dam's it. He really does. You can actually watch Cena go literally head first into the canvas when he hits. It looked great.
He sells $50,000 because Ted DiBiase has $1 million.
That's right. He Dolph Zigglered it basically.
Or according to that crowdfunding page, Virgil wants it.
Oh God, I don't even want to talk about crowdfunding and Virgil.
Who cares about Mr. Virgil the Robot?
Virgil is Mr. Robot. Is that the rule?
It's trending now, kid.
Virgil is Mr. Robot.
Virgil is Mr. Robot.
Lonely Virgil is Mr. Robot. So he ducks the right hand. 2 shoulder tackles. Proto bomb. Owens rolls to the ring apron, gets up, and he basically mocks Cena's taunt. Forearm Cena goes up top, and the Swanton connects with the knees of Cena. The AA is countered, ducks the right hand, and it's time for Kevin Owens to hit the Cena special there. So shoulder block, proto bomb, 5-knuckle shuffle, and the F-Sanic is countered into the electric chair into the STF. He drags him to the middle, but he kicks him off, catches the boot, and a lifting backbreaker. A right hand, he tosses him off the ropes, ducks the right hand, goes for the heel turn, gets caught, release German suplex, and a cannonball for the 2 count.
Oh.
So they get back up to their feet, they trade punches, 2 big kicks. Cena hits the code red, which he's getting better at, by the way. For a near fall there, Cena heads up top, gets caught, sit out, powerbomb, 1-2, and a kick out. Cena pops up to the AA for a near fall, puts Owens on the buckle, climbs up, going for a superplex, gets caught, key crusher off the top, 1-2, and no. Cena again kicks out. So he tosses him to the ropes. The pop-up powerbomb countered into the Hurricane Rana. He goes for the AA. Owens grabs the ropes to slink out, hits the super kick, the Asanic into the STF, and Cena is crawling, barely makes it to the ropes. So he charges into a back elbow, swinging DDT for a near fall, 2 right hands, ducks the right hand, the heel turn, and basically staggers Owens into a lariato.
Lariato!
Spun Cena like a top right there. Hits the Steenbreaker, and he was not able to capitalize because Cena hits the AA out of nowhere for a near fall. Cena with a lariat of his own, ducks the lariat, and pop-up powerbomb, 1, 2, he kicks out at 3. So Owens heads up top, gets caught with a right hand. Cena climbs up, goes for the AA, off the top, it's over. 1, 2, Owens kicks out at 3. Cena looks like he saw a ghost. Literally.
Owens kicked out at 2.9. Let's get it correct. You can't really kick out at 3 because
2.99999999, I believe is how it used to go back in the day in the dirt sheet.
Wow. Quentin Tarantino is now involved in this match.
2.999 times.
2.9 reoccurring.
I guess the heel's on the other turn now.
Oh.
So basically, he kicks out of the AA off the top. I don't recall anyone really has been able to kick out of that move. There has to be somebody, but it's in a very, very small group of people that have kicked out of that.
Nikki Bella. No.
So Cena picks. Oh God. So Cena picks up Owens. He's dead weight. He falls back down. He picks him up again. Owens with a small package for a 2 count. And he gets the STF. Owens is crawling. Cena drags him in the middle. He's got the STF on Kevin Owens. Owens looks like he's fading. He's fading, and there's 2 ways to look at this. You see his hand. It's close to Cena's wrist to allow for the tap out. And he's moving his hand gesturing. But depending on how you see the camera angle, you might be able to allow for the belief that he did not officially tap out. That the referee thought he saw a tap out, but upon further inspection of the video replay, Owens didn't tap out. But that's thinking way too much, and basically Owens lightly taps Cena's wrist, and that's the end of that. So a phenomenal match between these two, and every single time they have left it all in the ring, and continuously have done so. These have been, like you said, Ashley, this is without any question, without any competition, the feud of 2015.
Yeah. Nothing is going, because of how long you've got left in the year. Yeah. Nothing's going to rival it.
No, not even close. I really like the way this match went. I like how it rolls. I like the psychology of this match too, really. I like the fact that anything you can do, I can do better. I like the fact that utilizing something that has beaten a lot of other people and it wasn't able to beat Kevin Owens and vice versa. I really like the way they set that up, and like I said, it was just a phenomenal match and easily, without any question, the best match on the show.
Yeah.
Like there was any surprise on that.
No, not really a surprise because, it's Owens versus Cena. I want one more match, let's do it at SummerSlam.
Well, the thing about it is, and I see this happening, that this is when Cesaro peeks his head into this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that starts on Raw. And I think that, I believe you came up with this idea, Ashley, that Cesaro has to beat Kevin Owens to get involved in a 3-way for the match at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So
or
you
could just have a 4-way with all 3 of them and Rusev.
Rusev won't be in it because he's working with Ziggler. Remember the mixed tag match they want to do at SummerSlam?
If he hasn't recovered from death,
oh,
or
you
his
mean
contract
he hasn't
dispute,
re-signed yet by then?
or his contract dispute.
If Dolph hasn't re-signed or has let his contract lapse, then I can see a 4-way, but I think this is a solid 3-way, and that would mean probably that Owens would pin Cesaro and win the championship that way. But I really think, I mean, we've already seen Owens win. We've seen Owens cleanly beat Cena, and I mean that's usually the end game of feuds like this. So since we've already seen it, I guess there's a reason to believe that we may not see it again. So the U.S. Championship will go on Kevin Owens, but he doesn't have to pin Cena to win it. The thing is, after that, where do you go with Cena? I mean, obviously you might set up one more rematch because Cena wasn't the one that was pinned, and then you just do Owens and Cena one more time. But, I mean, where do you go with John Cena from here? This is the point. We've been talking about it for weeks. This is the point in Cena's career that he's starting to put people over. And that's what his job, that's what his pecking order spot is right now, is basically to put people over. And that's exactly what he's doing with Kevin Owens. That's exactly what he's doing with Cesaro, and that's exactly what he did with Rusev on Raw last week.
Yeah, the internet, as always, was very disappointed that Kevin Owens didn't win. Oh, that's Jobber Owens now. Jobber Owens.
No.
And not even close.
That wasn't a job match at all. That was a way to furthermore, even more so than before, to solidify the fact that Kevin Owens will be the man in WWE sooner rather than later.
Right, exactly.
Cena is preparing him for greatness, is basically what it is.
He is. Every single match that they've had over the past 3 months, this summer has been action-packed for WWE just because of those two men. He has sculpted him into the top dog, the next one in WWE, every match.
Like Jim Ross said this on Twitter, and I totally concur with this. This match was done so well. This pretty much, in some people's mind, this is far to say this, but it's true. It almost turned Kevin Owens' face. In all essence, it somewhat did. I mean, granted, he's going to continue to be the same Kevin Owens that we've been seeing on television, but, I mean, when it comes down to it, you really had to feel for Owens in the match, and the fact that Cena hits his big AA off the top and Owens kicks out of it. So it's kind of plays the role reversal game, and the last several weeks, Cena's been working heel, and everyone can see it. This is probably the closest we're going to get.
Yeah.
The smirks, basically the way that he's toying with his opponents, the way that he's a lot more aggressive. I mean, he's definitely working like a heel, and he worked the match with Owens like a heel as well.
Yeah. The way Cena always goes.
I knew that was coming for too long. Yeah, it was a really well done match, and anybody that thinks that Kevin Owens is being jobbed out or this is the end of Owens' push or anything like that, all the smart marky stuff,
get over yourself.
No, seriously, just watch television week after week and notice that John Cena. Say what you want about him personally. I mean, I don't know anybody that can say anything about John Cena personally because of all the stuff he does for Make-A-Wish and how good of a guy he is overall. But, I mean, say what you want about the character of John Cena, but consistently every single week John Cena puts on, if not the best, but one of the best segments on Raw, regardless with that open challenge. And this feud with Kevin Owens has just been like an addition to it. And it's made a lot of people really believe in Cena that didn't in the before.
I don't know what that is. What?
No, I was wiping my phone.
That sounded like that sounded like something else.
Downright bollocks.
So let me get this straight. You watched that scene in Trainwreck and you paused that scene at the right time. Is that what we're trying to say, Aaron? He's not denying it, folks.
Dirty boy, in your bed.
I was wiping my phone. It
No
wasn't.
supper for you.
I swear. I swear. Sasha Banks is not here. I swear.
Bollocks.
No, she's with that guy. Her boyfriend looks like Terrence Howard.
I know. I was so depressed when you told me that. Nobody knew she had a boyfriend. Not that the public should know, because that's their private lives. But
He looks like Terrence Howard.
I don't know who that is. Is that an actor, a singer?
Yes,
Oh
it's an
my
act.
god.
Never
Somebody
heard that
has been
name.
watching Empire. Boo!
Exactly. You're exactly right. I know.
Have you ever watched Hustle and Flow?
The movie?
Yes.
I've seen bits of it, not all of
Have
it.
you ever watched Iron Man 1?
Yeah, Iron Man
Yeah.
1's a good one, too.
Yes, I've seen Iron Man 1.
He's
Have you ever
Rhodes.
watched Crash? You ever watch Prisoners? You ever watch Prisoners?
No, I did not watch
Dead
it.
Man Down.
No.
Oh, that reminds me. Hang on, we're talking about films. Props to the opening match with Captain Jack Aubrey.
Ah. And Aaron, to go with something we talked about off camera, there is a picture that is on WWE.com of Sheamus and that guy from The Walking Dead that looks like him, and they were basically doing like the Marx Brothers duck soup thing.
Was it Duck Soup, that one, or was it one of the other ones?
I thought it was duck soup. I'm not positive on that. I think it is.
Night at the Opera or Day at the Races.
I think it's duck soup though, because AJ's mentioned it in the past. And if anybody's gonna know, it's AJ.
To the interwebs.
Duck soup mirror scene, thank you. Never doubt AJ when it comes to movie knowledge, ever.
Yeah, but you know what you know what you can never doubt as well.
Go
You
ahead.
can never doubt that there was only one person that was going to win tonight.
Oh God.
John Cena!
Super Slam!
The Undertaker and John Cena for the first time ever in Super Slam!
There's only one guy that will forever be US champion.
LOL, Cena wins. I know.
I saw that.
We're gonna get busted for copyright on a Hangout. That's great.
I'm only playing a 6-second clip, so I think it, could be, I'm only playing Vines, and apparently that means you can talk about getting your dick sucked. I don't know who. I don't know what. Why is this trending on Twitter? Why are people celebrities on Vines?
I don't know, but that's just no.
Why are they 17 and talking about getting dick sucked and sex tapes
about this
and stuff?
Is this Battleground After Dark? Like what?
You know what really grinds my gears?
Oh God.
And you were talking about a 17-year-old. You mean Kendall Jenner? The same.
I think you hear me knocking. I think you hear me knocking. I think I'm coming in and I'm breathing.
It's people on Vine making allegations and stuff that they shouldn't have because they're idiots because they're on Vine. Their intelligence span is only 6 seconds because that's the only videos that apparently they can make. Yeah, I know they've got YouTube stuff, but when your credit on your Twitter is Vine Superstar, it's like, really?
Well, there's a lot of weird stuff on Vine. Like I don't know how some of these Viners get famous. I really don't. They do the stupid. Like I thought I saw stupider stuff on YouTube that people get viral for, but Vine is just wow.
Some of the crap that's on there, you might as well just have Tinder buy them out.
Oh God. What is this podcast degenerating into?
I don't know, but you know who can blame? You can blame.
His name is John Cena.
Alrighty.
Love that.
Okay, so Ashley, you seem to have a lot to say about the exhibition that was the so-called main event. So
Whoa! Don't get to the actual good thing of this main event. Let's start with the shit.
Go ahead. Brock Lesnar against the WWE champion Seth Rollins.
No. No.
That's what we're talking about.
One teeny little thing.
I don't know
Miz.
what actually he's talking about.
I already discussed it.
It's
I've
a
already
promo.
discussed it. I already
Well, I
mentioned
played
it.
John Cena. I can't be bothered to get the sounder.
I already mentioned the Miz thing, and I glossed over it, and now we're going to main event.
We're not glossing over this. This is a Raw segment on a pay-per-view.
No, this is a SmackDown
five.
segment on pay-per-view.
With 5/6 matches. There were more matches on SmackDown this week than this pay-per-view. And that had only
True.
2 hours. And the same amount of promos. What?
Oh, man.
Saturday Morning Slams sometimes have more matches than this.
Remember what the Miz says, when my hands go up, your mouth goes down. I love that.
When
I do
hands
like
go up,
that.
our hands flip the bird. That's what that is. Oh my god.
But he got the crowd. See, he got the crowd. He actually had control of the crowd. If you think about it, they were booing him because he was talking crap about their town, and then
They were booing
cheering
him because they wanted to see the main event.
Oh, I know.
They want to see wrestling. Look, when you go to a WWE show, you sort of expect a little thing called, I don't know, wrestling. You know, why else do you think they're doing a live special of NXT and then doing tapings afterwards in Brooklyn next month? Because, you know, little W word called wrestling. Little word. 9 letters.
But the fact here is that they were booing him, then they cheered him because he said the words "Big Show retire."
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
He
of course
shouldn't
that's gonna get a
retire.
pop in the crowd. Yeah, he should retire.
He shouldn't retire because he is the reason why Swerved is a success. That's it. He's playing on his old knucklehead stuff. God damn you, Michael Rappaport. This segment, it was just like, Big Show comes out, punches the shit out of him, walks out. So, can we get the 5 minutes that we just lost back? You know, through even the 4... Let's just go to Booker T, bloody Corey Graves and Renee Young and Byron Saxton rambling about nothing for 5 minutes before the main event. Hell, let's have JBL just randomly talk about, you know, the U.S. economy for 5 minutes. You know, his financial podcast. That'd be more entertaining than that segment. Mago.
Michael. I block everybody, Michael. I even block Mr. ENT92. I block everybody. Just call me John Blocking Layfield.
He hasn't blocked Dolphins 1925. I don't know why that is.
It's actually really funny because when he said that, even though we're past that, when he said that, everybody on Twitter said, he blocked me. I didn't know it. Everybody checked their Twitter to see if they blocked him.
I can vouch JBL has not blocked me because I've voiced my displeasure on him, but I've not mentioned anything on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, you haven't, like, mentioned his username in a tweet.
No.
See,
I
did
can't
that
be
tweet too.
asked to follow him.
I did it.
I've only got 2,000 spaces.
Guys, I gotta share what Cleveland is telling me. This
No.
Is he going to join us again tonight?
Well, yeah, he was going to, but I guess we were going to have a 3-man team. But he'll definitely join us next week. But maybe after the Raw tomorrow, because 2 big stars are showing up at Raw tomorrow. More on that later.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. But this is breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. He said Terrence Howard is his biological father. He still takes him out for ice cream on the weekends. And he says that this is Adult Swim on acid of what we were saying earlier. Well, actually, what Ashley was saying earlier. And he said black people is to Vine as baby oil is to The Rock. And Ashley needs weed right now. It's legal where you live.
Black people is divine what baby oil is to The Rock.
Oh my god.
I thought I was the crazy one. What?
This is just too much. This is hilarious.
The sad thing is, the people involved in this whole dick-sucking affair are not black. The thing is, though, this is the thing. Young teenagers are following these young teenagers. And then all these allegations coming about, sex tapes by forcing themselves on each other sort of thing. It's like, dear God, I thought 50 Shades of Grey was fiction. What is going on? You don't need sexual education, you need sexual... I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we should just leave it at that. Just, I don't know. Oh.
Every time, a Vine person comes out with a sex tape, Darth Vader goes, no! Yeah, this is how much I want to talk about the main event. I want to talk about other stuff. Sorry, not main event, exhibition.
Oh, here we go.
No, let's get into this. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. This was a good match. Up until sort of Michael P.S. Hayes, or whoever wrote this, please don't tell me it's Jimmy Jacobs.
I doubt it. I really
decided
do.
to just go, okay, get the marijuana, lads. We're going left field. Because Undertaker bomb goes off, and it's like, okay, didn't expect this. Owen can vouch. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then everybody's disappeared.
Yeah, they all just kind of disappeared into nothingness.
That, who gives a shit about, Luke Harper being Hoodie Man? At this rate, Undertaker is the masked magician from those bloody Magic Secrets Revealed things.
He
He
not
made two
Valentino,
men
it's the Undertaker.
disappear. And they never came back. This is like the El Patron thing from last week. I want to know where they are. I want to make sure they're okay. They're still alive. I want to know their well-being. Because, huh? And then it's like, the problem is, you can clearly tell the angle is supposed to be Undertaker is heel. Then why did the son of the bitches cheer?
Because it's the Undertaker, actually, that's why.
Yeah, you'd have thought they'd have realised that after, hang on, how long's he been here? 25 years! just a little bit. Just a tiny little bit, Considering the company's only lasted 50. Oh, wait, that's half of the company's lifespan. What?
Well, there's a lot of people that, and I even had a couple of friends of mine message me saying that, maybe this match could have ended differently. Even my dad said it, because we watched the match, and, we were laughing at how Brock Lesnar was destroying Seth Rollins, which I really lost count after 4. I had mathematical issues during that match. I mean, I was counting, and then all of a sudden I just lost count.
13.
German suplexes. 13.
13 officially, because there was 12 Germans and 1 in overhead release belly to belly.
Ah, yes. There was.
I thought there was 13 Germans and then...
No, 14 then.
Yeah, 13 Germans and 1 belly to belly.
12 Germans and 1 belly to belly. Okay, 13 exactly, because I have it listed right here.
Right.
Okay.
I kept track, because I can.
Because you can. But yeah, no, I mean, when Undertaker showed up, people on social media were just like, why is he back? Why are you guys questioning The Undertaker back? A legend, a surefire Hall of Famer that should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago, I think, whenever he gets inducted.
Because they don't want to see him face Lesnar.
Why? That was over 10 years ago.
They don't want to see him face Sting.
Yeah, it's true.
But it's not like, we're going to get Lesnar versus Undertaker for until WrestleMania 32.
We're gonna get it at SummerSlam.
No,
We're gonna get it at SummerSlam.
SummerSlam.
We're going to get it at SummerSlam. So, you know, I mean, I liked their rivalry back in, was it 2003?
Yeah, because it meant. Oh, right, back then.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking I thought we were talking last year.
No. No, like, you know, Brock Lesnar versus Undertaker 2003, that's, you know, it was great. So I don't have a problem with it this time. I mean, yes, the fans want Sting versus Undertaker. You know, we're going to get it. I mean, you know, these dirt sheets, I don't know how they know these are like these are true, but Sting and Undertaker are going to be on Raw tomorrow night, and Sting is going to be involved in the Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt storyline.
Which I've been calling for over a year now. I want Sting and Bray Wyatt to face off.
So, you know, one dirt sheet said it best that tomorrow night's, well, actually tonight's, because that's after midnight now, tonight's Raw is for the first time in a long time with the Divas Revolution, Cesaro, Rusev. You know, maybe we could see them fight again. John Cena putting on great matches, and just everything that's happening in WWE right now. It is going to be must-see TV, the must-see episode of Raw in a long time, because you have Sting and Undertaker under the same roof. Granted,
And wait for viewing figures to be the lowest for the year.
What? The ratings?
Yeah. Logic says this should be one of the biggest of a year. It won't be.
Do they have competition in the ratings like for tonight? Or
Probably not.
Yeah.
But it won't be.
It might, but
They'll just watch it on Vine with all the other crap. Yeah, they'll just get it via their social media because it's a 3-hour show.
Yeah, no, that's really true. Thanks, social media. All right, thanks, Rob.
2 hour. If it's a 2-hour show, I think you would have record viewing figures. But because it's going to be free, when you average it out, it's not going to be the top figures for this year.
No.
I think
the way it's built, this should get even more viewers than the build-up to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who's
No
supposed to
doubt.
be here?
Right. I think we're going to get a much proper build-up for SummerSlam, which is just as big as WrestleMania, for 5 weeks than we did for WrestleMania.
I realised Vince is fucking petrified. Because
Of what?
SummerSlam isn't selling out.
No.
NXT the night before is.
Yeah, well, I find that pretty funny.
People want to
There's
see
problems.
that rather than the mainstream stuff. Hang on, Tickets are tickets still available for SummerSlam? This is what we need to check. Quick, to WWE events page. I'm determined to know because all I keep hearing is, you know, tickets are sold out and then new tickets are added and then sold out for the NXT show.
Wow. I can't say I'm surprised, though. I'm not surprised.
There's
They literally removed all the curtains that they were going to be having for the show.
Wow.
There is over 10,000 people that are going to be in the Barclays Center for NXT TakeOver.
You know, I might just have goosebumps watching NXT TakeOver the night before SummerSlam, and I'm not even there.
It says that SummerSlam tickets are sold out.
Hang on, I'm verifying this. That seems a bit dubious. There's probably only like 2,000 tickets. Best available.
And I think the reason why I say, you know, I'll have goosebumps is because that's going to be the biggest audience to date for NXT, right?
Yeah, easily.
Amazing. It's going to be an amazing sight.
Hearing Enzo's sing-along with 10,000 people saying it is going to be a sight to see.
Oh, it is. We actually get, you know, we were talking about it. We couldn't wait to see when he gets to the main roster with 16,000 people or 15,000 people, what have you, say that catchphrase. We're going to hear it the night before SummerSlam on an NXT show. How cool is that? We're going to get to hear how it's going to be like.
And even if Enzo and Cass never get brought up to the main roster, or if they don't get it brought up to the main roster of the current gimmick that they're in, this is going to be being able to hear that explosion of loudness of everybody singing along with Enzo. That's going to be really like worth the price of admission right there.
I hope Vince McMahon's backstage at that with Triple H.
He will be.
I really do. And he's just going to be just impressed as he was back in San Jose. I think when the event took place in San Jose, that's when Vince McMahon decided, okay, NXT is the real deal. Let's go with it. Let's launch it into overnight sensation. I think that's when he decided to do all of this.
I mean, we have Balor and Owens rematch. Sounds like we're doing Samoa Joe against Baron Corbin. You've got Bayley finally winning the women's championship from Sasha Banks. I'm going to guess Enzo and Cass finally winning the tag team championships from Blake and Murphy.
God, I really hope so. It's
and Tyler Breeze and Jushin Thunder Liger.
Wow.
Oh.
Granted, it's Jushin Liger now, but I mean, still. It's not the same Jushin.
I want to know if they're actually going to use Liger's old music.
Oh, that'd be great.
Because I'm pretty sure WWE don't give a crap about the copyright.
No, most likely not. And I mean, that's going to be a big weekend for Pop anyway, because we're going to be doing Popcasts for all 3 shows. We're going to talk NXT on Saturday, we're going to talk SummerSlam on Sunday, and we're going to talk Raw on Monday. So yeah, we got a lot of wrestling content.
The Pop 3-day weekend.
3-day weekend on Pop, and by that time, we're going to have all the announcements for Halloween Horror Nights, so there's going to be a lot of Popcasts on this channel within that time frame.
In August?
Yes.
It's going to be so exciting. Like, I got the biggest smile on my face. No, because, you could...
To be honest, the smile on your face is probably cleaning your phone. That's why.
Cleaning your phone, yes.
No, because, just, so much happening to close out summer in the fall. It's going to be great.
Cleaning your phone, just like all these people on Vine, apparently.
I will clean my phone right now again.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It actually has to be cleaned. Just kidding. No, it
For the
does.
benefit of flash photography.
58 days till preview night. Now, it's all that needs to be said. 58 days till preview night. Real quick, I'm going to make an announcement before we go any further into this. We are going to be doing a little bit of changing with the schedule for the podcast. So, as you guys know, I talked to Ashley about this, and it's going to be the first time Aaron's actually heard this because I haven't had a chance to run this by him, but that's how it works. Usually, when I'm in Orlando, I forgo watching anything because I'm too busy. So, Night of Champions is not going to be something I'm going to be able to do. So it's
Unless, of course, it's Steen versus Zayn, in which we'll find any excuse to watch.
Yeah, exactly. I watched Night of Champions last year after having what would end up being the last meal I would ever have at the NASCAR Sports Grill. Right after I watched the Blue Man Group on my birthday last year. So yeah.
Nice.
He had his last supper, ladies and gentlemen.
And then I watched Night of Champions in my Cabana Bay hotel room, and that's how I did it. And I took notes and everything.
Cabana. I thought that was a banned word.
Oh,
how you doing? How you doing? So
apartment.
Exactly. So basically, I'm just going to tell you guys that the podcast that is going to be on, and I have a calendar in front of me, so I'm not going to make a mistake on these days. The podcast on September 14th. For Raw will be the last podcast we're going to have until October 5th for wrestling.
Whoa.
And October 5th, I actually get back early, so I'll be able to do Raw on October 5th. So I'm going to miss Night of Champions.
Yay.
I will try to get some sort of a Night of Champions video out. It's kind of hard because Night of Champions is on Sunday. My mom comes in that night. The day after is my birthday, so obviously I'm going to be busy there. And then we move over to Universal property afterwards, so it's going to be really hectic. Another thing I'm going to throw you out a message on the schedule right now. The podcast on October 26th, that will be a Raw podcast, and that's going to be also after Hell in a Cell. So Hell in a Cell and Raw, I believe, is like double shot. So I leave the next day back to Orlando for Halloween Horror Nights closing week. Because of that, I will be getting back on November 3rd. So November 2nd is a Raw. I may miss that Raw. It's a possibility I may miss that Raw. And if I do miss that Raw, then we'll start back without any interruption on November 9th for Popcast for the remainder of the year and go into 2016. So that's just a little heads up for you guys, letting you know.
Whoa, hang on. I need to go back to... If that's the case, then that sort of is... We could sort of do a podcast... Well, no, you could sort of do a podcast with a difference. I need to check this, though, so keep talking.
No idea what you're talking about. So, yeah, I will see what we can do on that. If anything changes, I'll let you guys know on my Twitter and let you know. We are in the process of working on a mobile app, and once I get any more information on that, I will let you guys know. It will be for iOS only, so you'll be able to check it out on iTunes, but it won't be on Google. It won't be on because I don't have a way to make that happen, but I will be able to get it on iTunes. So for those of you that have iOS capable phones or tablets, you'll be able to get all your pop content at the palm of your hand.
That's... Okay.
I cannot wait. That's going to be so cool. Like,
so, the Raw, when you come back in November, is the Manchester, England show.
Ooh.
So it would have already happened 5 hours before.
Oh, wow.
So what I thought was if the Raw the previous week was the Raw in the UK, you could just react to the results from the tapings. Like 2.5 hours before Raw's on the air, but then post it up once Raw's finished. And it's like, wow, there you go. I gave you a podcast through the magic of magic.
We'll have to talk about that.
So we can't get away with that because the following week. That's sort of annoying.
We'll see what we can do. I mean, there may be ways to work on this, but I just want to give everybody a heads up in it as most advanced as I possibly can.
Do we know where that show is? No, we don't. Brilliant.
So, yeah, Rollins and Brock was basically just like a one-sided fight, and then Rollins picked it up in a high gear, and then crazy things happen.
Why are the house shows from WWE in October stealing the name from Ring of Honor's house shows?
There's been a rumor around all weekend talking about Ring of Honor working with WWE, so...
It's just the shows in Sacramento on the weekend of the 24th and the 25th of October are labeled the Aftershock events. Literally, Ring of Honor's having Aftershock events right now.
I want to let you know right now, thanks to the power of Instagram, I just found out that Mark Henry and the Primetime Players had a brush with the cops after Battleground last night.
Oh God.
There was no issues though, so yeah, it's on their Instagram. So that's interesting because I thought filming like a cop is probably like a no-no, but then again, there's no cops there, so yeah, it's just Darren and there's cops behind them, but there's no actual cops on there. So yeah, I just wanted to make mention of that.
money, yeah.
Oh. So yeah, that's basically what happened after the multi-German suplexes, the F5, 1-2, lights go out, the gong hits, and when the lights come back on, the Undertaker's in the ring, and...
Ripped!
Yeah, Tombstone cuts the throat, points to the ass, drops the tombstone like he does in the video game.
Tombstone City, bitch.
Just like Ashley said,
him in the balls.
He before any of this happened, he kicks him squat in the newts to go all South Park on you guys.
So, people are saying that Undertaker is heel. And I think that's why fans don't like it, and they don't like this direction. Why not make the Undertaker heel? A veteran as a heel could be genius when it comes to the Undertaker.
Oh yeah, because the heel normally is the one who controls the pace of the match.
Right. So Undertaker can be like, I'm better than you because I've been doing this longer than you, that kind of veteran heel. And I think this could work, and I can't wait for this, to kick into high gear. And it left people with questions, and that's what it's supposed to do. This is supposed to be probably the biggest cliffhanger, one of the biggest cliffhangers of a WWE pay-per-view this year.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go to the jump to the conclusion right now that Undertaker is a heel. I would just say that he wanted to wait a year to get a false sense of security for Brock, and then when he shows up, he kicks him in the nuts and tombstones him twice.
Yeah.
And the
That's
crowd are supposed to boo, but they cheer.
Because it's the Undertaker, that's why.
Then he walks out, and that's the end of the show.
Yep. I was like, show's over, and then I saw the copyright come up. I was like, really? Rollins and the ref just kind of bombed out.
No match finish. It's just literally a case of somebody got their ass beat.
Yeah.
Won by the little old known term of default. Or something.
But
or possession.
But I will say right now, if you had to do a non-finish in a main event like this, honestly, there's a lot of worse ways to do this. And overall, I'm really curious to see what's going to happen tonight on Raw.
To me, Bray Wyatt from the smoke attacking Dean Ambrose in a non-finish makes more sense than Undertaker attacking Lesnar.
Well, it said, I just read on Twitter that, yeah, good points. There was no Rusev, Cesaro, Stardust, or Neville on this pay-per-view.
Ambrose.
Ambrose.
Don't forget the Ambrose.
Yeah, this person enjoyed it, and the pay-per-view ended 10 minutes early, right?
15.
Oh, well, I have to agree with this person on Twitter then. That is a shame.
Technically, if you take out the main event, it ended like 35 minutes early.
No, but just ending 15 minutes early, though, I think I would have been pissed if I was any of the fans that were stupid enough to purchase this pay-per-view for $60, when you just could have gotten it for $9.99 for this month, and just canceled the network right afterwards. But
no, because you get a free month, so you wouldn't have to pay for it anyway.
I heard that you have to pay at the end of that trial, though.
Not if you cancel.
If you don't continue on beyond the opening month, I don't think it is.
Oh, okay.
I think you have to cancel.
You'd be foolish because the $10 a month is worth it alone for NXT. But
absolutely,
if you are just having people buying it, not aware of the NXT brand, because it's like it's cheaper to get it for $10 because they want to dip in now. It was sort of a mix. It wasn't that great of a show to really dip into.
Mm. Did you have
a match that you've already seen 17,000 times?
Yeah.
You had a serviceable match with the Primetime Players and New Day. You had Reigns Wyatt, which was a good match. You had a match that wasn't even advertised, so you were just, blind guessing. You had an incredible match with Cena and Owens, which is what you'd expect. But then again, for somebody that doesn't know who Owens is, it's a stupid promo to fill in time. Because, we can't have wrestling on a show.
When my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut.
And I like The Miz, and everyone knows it, but...
My mouth went open, I went slackjaw, because I was like, what is this shit?
Could we have had one more match?
Maybe The Miz belongs on Tough Talk. Because that's where The Miz is awesome. Legit. On Tough Talk.
I'd have just legit probably had... Yeah. Undertaker walks out. Rollins pins him.
Yeah.
And, Rollins just looks shocked. Yeah, even he doesn't know why Undertaker's there, sort of thing.
Mm.
It's not like some devious plan from the authority or everything. This is clearly a different matter altogether. Because then it's like, whether you like it hook or by crook, Rollins has kept the belt.
Yeah.
You can continue on with the Lesnar Taker feud, but then you actually have some sort of definitive something happened, rather than ass beating followed by dick kick, followed by a couple of tombstones, and a crowd that doesn't know whether to laugh, cry, cheer, or boo, or I don't know.
I think I saw Undertaker mouth the words, "Don't take any more dick pics, boy." Then he kicked him in the ball.
Jeez.
Surely the dick pics would have been pitched towards Rollins, or those people on Vine.
No, but I just wanted to, understand what you're saying though. So, if they can do Lesnar versus Taker, that's fine. But, does then does that leave a loophole in why did Undertaker attack Lesnar during the Seth Rollins match?
The way it's left now, who the hell is Rollins facing at SummerSlam?
We'll find out.
If it is Roman, well, it can't be Roman Reigns.
No.
If it was, we're doing the Ryback formula. It can't be Orton or Sheamus, because that feud's clearly still going to continue. Can't be Cena. Can't really be Owens. There's nobody left.
It's Triple H, but they have to start it this week.
You know what? They could have just done another way. They could have had Sheamus come out, redeem himself. He lost. Undertaker came out. He beat Brock Lesnar. Sheamus, both Rollins and Lesnar were down.
Yeah, actually, yeah. You could have had Rollins pin Undertaker, and he's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it." Sheamus comes out.
Yeah.
Fill the 15 minutes. Sheamus comes out, cashes in his briefcase. Triple H then comes out because he's actually concerned for Seth's well-being because of the beating that he took. Screws Seth over because he isn't the future anymore. Sheamus is.
Yep.
Sheamus then can, whether you like it or not, Sheamus can then go in a feud with the title with Orton. And then, because if Triple H is challenging Rollins for the title and Triple H wins, this is more farcical when Rock beats Cena.
Yeah, if it had went down that way, the more I think about it, we would have pretty much had a main event set for SummerSlam almost. And
Rollins versus Triple H is a draw.
Yeah, definitely.
Rollins versus Triple H with the belt is less so. Because it's like, the only reason Triple H is going to want the belt is to piss off Ric Flair.
Oh, why? Because that would make Triple H a 15.
He'd equal Flair's record of 17-time champion.
I didn't know that. I thought that was Cena. No, Cena was going to tie it.
No, yeah, but Triple H is I think Triple H is on 15.
Holy crap.
Triple H is high up.
We'll see Triple H versus Ric Flair again.
If it's Vince booking it, he's like, well, we've had, we've had Rock be champion from, who was champ 10 years ago. We've had Lesnar be champ from 10 years ago. Why not Triple H? Then we'll bring Goldberg back. Mick Foley, he'll be world champion again. Big Show, he'll be world champion again.
God, I hope not.
Edge will be world champion again. Kurt Angle, he'll come in and be world champion again. And break his neck again, and then, he won't be.
I think Vince McMahon's mindset is, we obviously know, is to make WrestleMania 32 the biggest WrestleMania of all time. Doesn't even matter it's the 32nd one. He just wants to sell out and have the biggest attendance in sports entertainment history of any event anywhere in the world ever in the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. So he's going to do whatever he can with his power and his money.
He'd have to go a fair way.
A fair way?
Well, the World Cup final in Brazil in 1950 had about 150,000.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted to do that, whatever the stadium is now called, in Arlington, where the Cowboys play, You'd literally have to have people sitting on the roof.
I just think that Vince McMahon's going to try to put together like the most, like the best card in WrestleMania history.
He clearly isn't.
No.
Because at the minute he's trying to put together the best super slam. Yeah, damn it.
Super.
And his name is John Cena. He's trying to put the best SummerSlam card ever together.
Summerfest.
Because if Sting's involved, Undertaker's involved, Triple H is involved, whether or not she's fit enough, but I think it's unlikely, but it would have made sense. Ronda Rousey? The only problem is it conflicts with, like, MMA dates.
Yeah.
You can't really, unless, she does win in 16 seconds, in which they could come up with an excuse.
Because, I read on, we don't believe everything on the internet, of course, but, I read on the dirt sheets that the card is basically already set for WrestleMania 32, and I'm like, I don't believe that. I call bullshit on that. There's no way. They're definitely talking about it. There's no doubt. They're talking about the WrestleMania card. Because, the other thing is that you could have Lesnar versus Austin. What about that big tease we got on Paul Heyman Stone Cold podcast?
Don't think that's going to happen.
Why do they tease it?
Because you have it in the back pocket just in case it would work out.
So then that would leave... obviously it may have
Seth Rollins versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Didn't you see that promo to hype WWE 2K16? Because apparently Seth is the most wanted character in the WWE games roster. So fuck Balor and Owens.
I still wanted Balor on the cover. That's just me.
Well, that makes sense.
Oh, to have Balor on the cover or to have Austin on the cover?
To have Austin on the cover, because basically you are putting over the product to somebody who's probably tuned out way long ago.
Lapsed fans. I love that word. Lapsed fans.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. And that's what I said, the day when the trailer came out, the 2K16, 2K360. I like it. It's great marketing. It was caught me off guard that Stone Cold was on the cover, but when I saw the commercial and saw how it was advertised, I'm like, okay, this could work. There's going to be a great Attitude Era mode in the game.
Forget the Attitude Era. I want to see some WCW Stunning Steve.
Yeah. Well, we haven't gotten WCW much on WWE Network, so I don't know what makes us think there's going to be WCW on the video game as much as there is on the network. But
there's been WCW modes in the games before.
They had a whole WWE invasion back in WWE 12.
Yeah, exactly.
Kevin Nash, before he tore, all 7 of his quads.
They did. I still have that game, too. Supposedly, on a side note, 50 hours of ECW are going to the network this week. That's awesome.
Hardcore television.
That's really cool.
With dubbed over music, because they don't have the copyright. That's the only problem about watching ECW on the network is the music is just not there.
Yeah.
New Jack's entrance is pretty epic, but if it's not done in Natural Born Killers, it's kind of like, this is just a guy beating people with stuff to a really generic song that makes no sense for him. Hey, just like Samoa Joe's new entrance theme.
Oh!
I can't even do that song. Like, it's just terrible music. Like, when he came out, the music was the cheering when he came out at NXT TakeOver. Unstoppable. That was the music. Nobody wanted to hear that because it just didn't make sense. I couldn't picture Joe coming out to that music. It was such awful music. I don't know what his new theme entrance sounds like now.
I'll tell you right now, I haven't heard the new music because obviously he got new music on the tapings that they recently had at Full Sail over the week. But I will say right now that the theme music, there shouldn't be somebody saying coming down to the ring or coming to the ring. They should say come on down, Samoa Joe, because it sounds like a game show entrance.
Really? Wow. Oh my God.
It makes me want to watch the Game Show Network when I see that.
And also, like,
Hang on, I've got the theme here.
Really?
Yeah. Samoa Joe.
Well, actually, since we're talking a little about NXT, the tapings, I saw a picture of Eve Marie. Why is she trying to be Ric Flair?
I actually don't mind the look. I think she looks great, and I've heard that her
mind
work.
The look. It looks a little too much like Ric Flair.
No, it doesn't.
The robe.
She isn't drunk enough.
She's just no lie. She's basically just being a heel. She's going to be the cornerstone of the heel portion of the NXT women's division. I know exactly that's where we're headed. She needs to team up with Emma and Dana Brooke, and she needs to be like the queen of that group.
Yeah.
And apparently she's got a great satellite head scissor. Apparently she feels a lot more confident in the ring. And apparently she's also using Sliced Bread number 2, like her mentor and trainer, Brian Kendrick.
God damn it, Spanky.
Yeah, Spanky ruins everything. That's what the internet says. I'm curious to see what Eva Marie does. I mean, she has the kind of charisma that basically makes her very hateable. And I think she's going to be a very solid heel if she's got the ring work down. And they really need to push a heavy-handed heel in the division because obviously everybody's going bye-bye. And Dana Brooke doesn't have it, so maybe Eva Marie is exactly what they need to carry the heel side of the women's division in NXT.
You know, I must admit, and I said it all along, that I knew Sasha Banks and Charlotte would go to the main roster soon. I do miss them on NXT. But, this is NXT's time, like I said, to find the next Becky Lynch, Charlotte and Sasha Banks, and I think they'll do it.
Yeah, it's Bayley.
Why do we Why do we need another heel diva in the NXT?
In NXT, it actually matters.
We've already got one.
Yeah.
Super Slam.
You have a collect call from Champ.
Oh yeah, that's so funny. You have a collective call from who? Champ.
I'm watching you. What? Yeah, if you haven't checked out the John Cena prank call, look it up on YouTube. It's epic in every way possible.
It is the funniest wrestling video, and it deserves every view it gets. It is viral for a
No, it doesn't. You know what
Yes.
The funniest wrestling video isn't that. You should know what it is, Aaron.
What, Botchamania?
No. Wrestling isn't wrestling.
Yes.
Wrestling isn't wrestling.
That video is amazing as well.
What is it? Like what exactly is it?
Mainly because it has Macaulay Culkin in it. And most people think he's dead.
What?
That's interesting. So, yeah, that's basically what we have. Apparently, it seems like nobody was really much into the main event or the beating that Seth Rollins withstood. I don't know, because obviously we have Brock is going to be at SummerSlam, and we're building up to Brock and Undertaker.
Brock.
And Sting is supposed to be on Raw tonight. Undertaker is supposed to be on Raw tonight. I'm going to guess Lesnar's booked for Raw tonight.
Must see Raw ever.
Should be entertaining. We'll get another John Cena Open Challenge tonight, I got a feeling.
And then we're going to get John Cena at Super Slam.
It's funny because Randy Orton was doing press over the weekend. He pretty much let it drop that Finn Balor is going to be on the main roster sooner rather than later, too.
Thanks, Randy. Keep your mouth shut next time, Randy.
You know what's going to happen with this. Confirmed, furthermore, that the cornerstone of the NXT Championship will basically be between Samoa Joe and Tyler Breeze.
Finally, I mean, for Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze has needed to be a champion for a long time. This is his chance.
Yeah, I mean, it's long overdue, right?
Indeed. But from what I'm hearing, the NXT women's division, like the second generation, not as great as the first.
No, I'll agree. But
I haven't got a chance to see them in the ring personally. And I'm
Yeah.
a lot higher on Alexa Bliss than most people are.
But NXT is still enjoyable to watch. I don't feel anything different about NXT as I did last year. I still love it like I did last year. It's hot, and it's going to get even hotter after NXT TakeOver. NXT TakeOver, that's the big stage. Like I think that's going to be their WrestleMania, honestly, because
10,000 people, I'd say so.
Yeah, exactly.
Real quick, before we head into the end of the podcast for tonight, I do want to say that if you were not listening previously, at Elimination Chamber, Aaron and myself tied with 3 wins, and Ashley had 2. At Money in the Bank, I won 4 wins, 3 wins for Aaron, and 2 wins for Ashley. Not a good night for you, Ashley. Money in the Bank. At Battleground, we have a 3-way tie.
Hey.
Because and the reason why Ashley is part of that 3-way tie, his name is John Cena. Because both Aaron and myself picked Bray, and you picked Reigns, but we both picked Owens, and you picked Cena, so there was no Intercontinental title match, and there was a non-finish in the main event, so it was a 3-way tie.
Yeah, and I would have won, you know, had
You
it
would
not
have.
been for not advertising your Divas match.
Exactly. So that's going to be, I think that's it. I think that's all we've got for this week. Overall, Battleground was a good event. It was an enjoyable show. I would have cut a couple things. Would have, like you said, Ashley, I would have advertised the women's match for sure.
Questionable decisions have turned this from probably one of the best shows of the year to certainly one that went in a different direction, but one that I think could have long-term harm on the company just from some of the approach that they did.
Yeah, booking was kind of questionable tonight, but I mean, it got a lot of people what they wanted and also made people upset too at the same time. So I guess it was basically to make everybody happy and screw them over at the same time.
Because that's WWE logic.
This is the reason why Dolphins doesn't give you the results anymore.
Exactly. So we've got Raw tomorrow night or tonight, given the fact that it is now after midnight. Kansas City?
Yep.
Should be fun. It's always a good wrestling town.
Kansas City, here I come.
We had St. Louis and Kansas City. I mean, obviously, we're going back to Sam Mushnick and
Kansas is getting WCW Nitro with Sting.
Harley Race, and so yeah, we've got a lot going down on Raw tonight. We've got Sting, we've got The Undertaker, we got Brock Lesnar, Kevin Owens. Obviously, he's going to explain that he did not tap out to John Cena. Because, like I said, if you show the camera angle the right way, it does not look like the actual hand was ever tapped. They have a way to go with it if they really want to go in that direction, and it looks like it's building towards a 3-way with Cesaro at SummerSlam. A 4-way if Dolph doesn't re-sign or can't get his contract worked out in that time frame. We've got Undertaker setting up with Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam now. Sting and Bray Wyatt's probably going to start tomorrow, or tonight in this case. We're going to find out who the next challengers for the Tag Team Championships are. The official challenger for the Divas Championship. I'm sure they'll do like a multi-woman match to determine who the challenger is going to be. So we'll see what happens.
Battleground, trending #1 on Twitter.
Awesome.
Dickhead from Vine, number 3. What?
Acer says, poor Marie, she sure got phone scammed pretty hard. Yay for vintage Open US title challenges. NXT TakeOver Brooklyn is going to be a very interesting event to watch, that's for sure. Yeah.
Dickhead from Vine is trending above Undertaker.
What? Okay, wait, I don't see this.
On my list, number 3 trend is this Carter person, whoever the hell this is.
Oh,
Number
Carter
4 is
Reynolds.
Taker.
I don't even have Carter listed on my trends. I actually have Battleground as the first one.
It's trending above Liam Appreciation Day from One Direction. This is how stupid the internet is.
I have Battleground, Growing
One
Up
Direction
Shy.
is more interesting than teenagers talking about bloody sex.
There's Carter. He is listed at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6th trend on Twitter right now.
Okay, so wait a minute. Wait, okay. Let me get this straight. Okay, I know where to start. We're giving this team attention on Twitter, and what I just read is a photo of him tweeting that he wants to kill himself.
Well, admittedly, he was the one that caused the problem last month, because looking into the reports, he sort of is... And this is the problem with fame on YouTube. If you can't cope with it, don't even try and get involved.
Yeah. Carter Reynolds broke Twitter.
Yeah, the great thing is, though, if you search, the search term thing for me comes up Pentagon Chief Carter in Israel seeks deeper military ties. It's got nothing to do with that. Even Twitter's like, you seriously don't want to know this shit.
Wow. He's threatening to kill himself, and someone said because he can't face being held accountable for his actions. Is highly manipulative behavior.
We'll talk about it off air, but the great thing is, in terms of Taker, it says eBay is selling its Enterprise unit for $900 million. What's that got to do with Undertaker? Twitter, get your algorithms right. Have stuff, that makes sense.
Oh, so the last tweet he said was bye. Bye, Felicia. That's going to be my tweet to him. Bye, Felicia.
Oh, God.
Jamie Lee Curtis dressed as Vega from Street Fighter at EVO 2015. This is more interesting.
Wow.
I wish I'd now seen heard. Hang on, I'm searching this. Then I can, clean my screen.
So Acer says a pretty good, solid Battleground 2015 event. The build-up to SummerSlam should be interesting. Certain finishes of those matches is pretty questionable. There's the love-hate relationship, both in the state of Missouri. All valid points.
I just can't believe what I'm reading from this kid.
Yep. She was there with a mask on. That's clever. That's like, Harry Potter going around as Spider-Man. So nobody would pester him. That's genius. God bless you, Jamie Lee Curtis. She loves gaming.
Wow.
Oh my God.
More important than Battleground. She got her priorities in the right place. So I want to go to a gaming thing, where people's lives are on the line, sort of thing, careers, or do I want to watch a crappy show that I'll probably get for free anyway? Because WWE will be like, please watch this. Please, it's the build-up to SummerSlam. We'll put it free on USA because, USA is just showing, who cares about Mr. Robot? Yes!
No, Mr. Robot again. Not a podcast unless we're talking about how much Ashley dislikes Mr. Robot.
Also, it was refreshing to have a WWE show without Kane on it. Perhaps he's actually taking his 2 weeks' notice now.
Oh, God.
Oh my God.
So there's a ton of things that's going to happen.
NBA Jam, he's on fire.
a ton of things are going to be happening on Raw, and we'll be talking about it on tonight, obviously, at 11:30 p.m.
17 hours. New record.
Exactly. And obviously that'll be available on archive on Tuesday morning. This podcast will be available on archive on Monday. Yeah, it's officially now Monday. On Monday morning, so you can check that out early Monday morning because apparently I just found out, like I said, I have a shift at work I was not planning on. So yeah, I'll get that out in the morning before I head to work tomorrow. So that's what we've got for this week. Halloween Horror Nights news, hopefully upcoming very soon. Just announced the first coast-to-coast announcement of Insidious, and that will lead us into the real start of announcement season, which I think we're going to be getting some new announcements soon. I think it's going to be a little bit before we get an announcement that's coast-to-coast. I think there'll probably be some more like Hollywood-only and Orlando-only properties coming your way. And once that news breaks, I will be doing videos, obviously. You can check out my Insidious video from yesterday. You also can check out AJ's movie reviews and verses from this week, along with Gaming with Ash. Check those 3 regular segments out on Pop. And we have a lot of wrestling content coming very soon, because obviously next month we have the Pop, triple, weekend of, awesomeness. So, yeah, we're going to be covering NXT TakeOver, as well as SummerSlam and Raw.
Something needs to be addressed here because I've just found this out. What was it that Cleveland said earlier?
The Randy Orton baby oil thing?
No, Terrence Howard was his father or something.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Virgil, yes, that one, tweeted tonight, I think Xavier Woods is my son. And also, because this is perfectly politically correct, a lot of black people on Battleground tonight, you're all welcome.
Yeah, what? I saw that too.
What?
I wasn't going to bring that one up at all, but just go right ahead.
No wonder he's lonely.
That's a good way to end this podcast tonight.
His name isn't John Cena, that's why.
God. So that will end another edition of the WWE, this time being Battleground Popcast. Join us tomorrow, 11:30 p.m. for the live Raw Popcast, and of course that's going to be available, like I said, archived on Tuesday. NXT is going to be Wednesday, Thursday, brand new Sip and Snack. We're going to be focusing on a sip and a snack this time around. Friday, AJ's movie reviews will be Pixels, as well as Paper Towns, and fingers crossed for Southpaw. So that's coming. Gaming with Ash on Saturday. Ashley will be bringing us what this week, Ashley?
We need to hype up a charity speedrunning event.
Sounds good.
Starts Sunday, so we're going to hype that up. Like, Not like, DJZ, like legitimate, horns.
Yeah, and if you want to, speaking of charity, if you want to check out my Twitter, there is a special mask that was created by Doc from Face Off Season 7, and it is being auctioned off with all the proceeds going to Give Kids the World Village. So you can check that out on my Twitter. It's basically a mask from Giggles and Gore Incorporated last year from Halloween Horror Nights, and it was hand-painted by Doc, so you can check that out. There's going to be a spot on my Twitter right now, so all proceeds go to Give Kids the World Village on behalf of Hearts of Reality, so check that out. I wanted to bring that up a little bit, so on the podcast, I thought that was something that needed to be said. Since we're talking about charity, I thought that was a good way to put it right now. It is currently, the bidding, it's got 6 days left, and it's at $202.50 for 7 bids, and it's got about $12 standard shipping. So check it out, get a really awesome piece of memorabilia from Halloween Horror Nights 24, and help out Give Kids the World at the same time. So also we have, real quick, Ashley can be found every single week on the whole indie show, along with Sandro. Ashley, what are you talking about this week?
I thought I told you, speedrunning.
I'm talking about the whole indie show.
Oh, sorry. I lost track. I'm looking at actually like important news rather than whatever the crap going on Twitter. I guess it's building up to this coming weekend where we've got PWG, Ring of Honor, Global Force, although if the TNA angle does happen, don't expect us to talk about that anymore. I'm trying to think if there's also a Shine show, I believe, as well, which is looking very promising. So quite a few stuff coming up, and in terms of stuff that's happened this week, I haven't looked at the results, so I don't know.
Nice. That's always fun. So that's basically what we've got this week. You also can check out Ashley via email at sticks@snsradionetwork.com. And also, while you're at it, you can check out Mr. Entertainment. It's worldofwinning.webs.com, I believe. Read that actual address, because that's what that's something like that. Aaron.
Oh, what?
He's cleaning his mobile screen. Come on.
He's still cleaning his screen. Yeah, I forgot about that.
No, I was reading an article. So yes, sir, Owen Disney. Yes.
The website, your website. Read it off to the viewers.
Yes, absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. It's worldofwinning.webs.com. You can go there, giveaways and upcoming events and whatever I'm doing.
You also can check out at Mr. ENT92 on Twitter and Instagram, and he's also available on Wrestling Amino.
Amino.
I went with your pronunciation.
No, it's actually amino. I heard.
I know, like amino acids. I get it, but I'm going with what you said originally. Yes, it's Wrestling Amino. So yeah, you can check him out there. You can check out Pop on our Facebook fan page, Sir Owen Disney Pop, and that is search for Sir Owen Disney and Pop. While you're on Facebook, friend request me at Owen Disney, and you can go check out Versus and Gaming with Ash and Halloween Horror Nights, news, rumors, info, and breaking news, all available, along with AJ's movie reviews, and that's on moviepilot.com/Sir Owen Disney. And last but certainly not least, if you are a theme park or wrestling podcast and would like Sir Owen Disney to be a part of your show, or if you want to ask me questions that I can't answer on here for good reason, or ones I can answer on here, you can go ahead and do so. Want to become a podcaster yourself, send me an email, sirowen@gmail.com. So real quick, I want to thank Aaron for joining us again tonight.
Thank you for having me again. It was really fun. A lot of laughs.
And you also can check out Acer, who's been very loyal to the podcast every single week. It's at Acer1337, yes, in a row. So you can check that out on Twitter. Ashley, thank you again for joining us in the wee hours of the morning. I want to thank everyone that joined us live and on archive, and if you like what you're hearing, continue to spread the word. Like I said, we're small but we're mighty, and we provide content that's a little bit different than everyone else, so we got something...
A little bit.
I call matches when I'm talking about recaps, and you're talking about Twitter and all sorts of randomness, and... So, that being said, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.
Could have been worse. Could have been a TNA pay-per-view.